What's up YouTubers, and before we get to the main part of the video, yes, I'm in a sleeveless shirt, yes, I'm in a sleeveless shirt, yes, I'm in a sleeveless shirt. Ladies, take it all in. These are my muscles, these are my awesome arms. Take it all in. Anyway guys, now that we got that comic show out of the way, let's go on to analysing and reviewing episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. And honestly guys, the first thing I got to say, I thought it was going to be another part. Honestly, it looks like the first few episodes might become a part term, really. It looks like they're going to come all together into this like big whole thing, really. I could just imagine the first DVD is going to be basically the entire, like, 5 episodes linked together or something like that. I can really picture that sort of thing, really. But honestly, guys, this might also be a bit more useful, really, because it's then, like, actually being a proper story compared to all the other episodes that we've had in the past with, like, the first few episodes. Sometimes, if everything was done like the first episode, we've got no telling how long it's been since like the second episode. By doing the beginning like certain parts, we're kind of like getting like the beginning of the story as it like goes along, really. We've got like the first episode being like the setup to Playmaker and showing us how dedicated he is for his mission, and how we learn that the two top duelists are Go Onizuka and Blue Angel, and we learn that Playmaker is going to battle the Night Owl, which is threatening VRAINS. We got the second episode, which has now gone on to about his duel style, and we learn a bit more in depth about the character thinks and what powers he has. Although at the beginning we all pretty much knew that this was going to be a character that did not have any special traits, but we did know something was hinting at it. Maybe it was Ignace calling out to him. He had an eye on him for a long period of time. Pun not intended, I just realised what I did there. He has his eye on him and he knows powers, so he's like been calling out to him for help and he doesn't even know it yet. And then we got to episode 3, which, oh god, would give us more information about the players. Let's go on first about after the duel. We got the Night Owl doing a terrorist box, which was probably not the best idea to do at this point, considering the terrorist incidents that's been happening within Manchester, and we all are pretty devastated by it. Everyone around the world, I hoped, did the minute silence for this. This is a major catastrophe that's happened here, and probably doing this kind of episode was probably not the best idea to do. This episode, I know, came out on a Wednesday, around the same day that the terrorist incident, so they couldn't do that. They couldn't stop it, really. They couldn't, really. So I get that, really. But with the subtitled on the day after, I bet a lot of people were affected by that. I definitely know I was in shock, and I was surprised that that Konami released an episode with something that is basically linked to terrorism, which was completely shocking. And I definitely think that just from that episode alone, Konami might suffer quite a bit actually from just doing that, such as Pokemon did when with the Tentacool and Tentacruel episode, where with them destroying the town around the same time, releasing that dubbed episode around the time the terrorist incident happened during that time, which I believe was the Twin Towers. Yeah. I definitely know, after thinking about it, there was nothing they could have done, but hopefully, yeah, it won't really lead to serious backlash, really. Anyway, guys, yeah, we then learned, and anyway, after we saw that Night Owl was ready to sacrifice himself just to protect his information of his fellow men, we see Ignace unleashing a new power within his duelist, kind of like making a shadow form of himself, absorbing the data of that Night Owl. So does that technically mean then that Ignace killed someone? I really wouldn't think that really, I would say that Night of Howl was like a digital copy, really, like a program, sort of thing. Really, that wasn't like a legitimate character. If it was a legitimate character, I say he kind of like got kicked off Link VRAINS. He didn't really die, because Ignace said himself during the speed duel that you'll be affected mentally and physically throughout the speed duel. He didn't say if you like died in the speed duel, if your life points at 0, you die in the real version. I say it was like a lot of mental damage to that character if he is a real character. If it was a program, then Ignace just basically absorbed that program, meaning we'll never see that character again unless his master creates an identical program, which I really don't see happening, because later on in the episode, well, we've seen the main character, seen the main bad guy again. But we'll talk about that when we hit that really. But yeah, we then go into Golden Musical and Blue Angel, basically going after Peacemaker. Not Peacemaker, that's me, Playmaker. Sorry, on a roll. We see Golden Musical just basically go in there, going, "Alright, it's your turn to battle me. You think you're the toughest? Well, let's see how you can go against the king." Which is kind of a bit below the belt, if you ask me. I mean, Playmaker just saved your skin. He just saved the entire Link VRAINS. Who on earth do you think you are, going after basically a hero of Link VRAINS? That's just honestly stupidity in its finest moment. And then we got Blue Angel, which we know has saved his skin. Not her skin, sorry. Oh my god. Let's try that again. I'm really not that focused, guys. Playmaker saved her skin and Blue Angel saved his skin. Is that why I got confused? Yeah. Anyway, we seen them saved each other's skin. Maybe Blue Angel would have helped him? No. She just stands there going, "I'm here to take you in." So we got basically someone who's thinking with their muscles and not their head. A person who acts like a police officer. Playmaker made the right decision. Backflip out of here. I would do the same as well. We see Golden Musical frustrated and we see Blue Angel frustrated as well. But who knows, maybe Blue Angel was trying to save his skin secretly, really. Because we saw Blue Angel use her magical whip to save Playmaker. So maybe she is secretly on his side, but she doesn't want to fully reveal that. We learn a bit more into the bad guy. We've got the name for this bad guy, and honestly, I kind of like it. Revolver. Kind of like it, really. So I honestly say this guy made this name because he probably thinks that everything revolves around me, hence the term Revolver, because I doubt it's the gun Revolver, really. That just doesn't click, really. We now know he's a leader of the Knights of Howl. He's the main boss. He's out there doing what he needs to do. He's after Ignace, which he was probably happy when his butler sort of character introduced the fact that Ignace is not with the Soltec. But something did hit me, guys. He did the same thing that Yusaku did around the first episode and the second episode, which was list 3 things, and specifically 3. Which kind of gets me the feeling that Revolver and Playmaker were one and the same character, but not at the same time, because we know that for a fact. We saw Revolver chatting, watching the duel, while Playmaker was dueling, so we definitely know they're not the same character. But it also made me remember that Yusaku lost his memory, so maybe he's like a long distance relative, or maybe a brother. Which would be an interesting plot twist, really. Kind of like the bad brother, good brother sort of situation, but this time with amnesia. This actually kind of makes it interesting. I doubt Yu-Gi-Oh! Has done anything like this. I definitely know they haven't done this similar thing to the anime, but I haven't seen it in the manga. And then again, I haven't read much of the manga yet. I'm still trying to get my hands on some of the books. But at the moment, this is the only logical conclusion I can come up with. He's a brother, which would also kind of make sense about a lot of other things, really, like the usage of the cards. I mean, we've seen Revolver have some pretty much powerful monsters. We learn that during the second episode, and the first episode as well, that the Knight of Hall got Kraken Dragon from Revolver. So that just probably shows he's got more powerful monsters, really. And maybe the reason why he set up the Knights of Hall against Soltec is probably because Soltec is the real bad guy, and Soltec's just making it look like the Knights of Hall is the real bad guy. Hence why Playmaker and his ally are going after the Knights of Hall, because the Knight of Hall has been looked at the bad guy when no one knows on what the real objective is. Or it could be one, and they are the real bad guys and they're not related at all, they just got the same habits. Or maybe Revolver's the person that gave Yusaku the courage to move forward in his life, because we do know that little bit from the second episode. Hence, Yusaku got the 3 things from this guy. He probably told Yusaku, if you're ever in a dangerous situation or you really want to explain yourself, use the number 3. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I'm interested to see this guy duel. I really have a feeling we're going to see this guy duel very soon. We've seen him ride a monster in this episode, and honestly I want to know who this monster is and how powerful it is. Is it a link monster? Is it an effect monster? Or is it another kind of monster? Is it an Ignace, Synchro, Fusion? Who knows? Maybe a pendulum monster. This is what's going to be very interesting to see. I don't know if it would be a link monster, because at the moment all we know about link monsters within the anime is they exist within that tornado that we saw, which I can't remember the name of. I want to say Cyber Typhoon, but I know that's wrong. I probably made that up. But yeah, we only know that the link monsters exist in that, so I doubt he's got that. I doubt that's a link monster. Or for all we know, he did claim it, because he's got all this knowledge by the looks of it. He's got that knowledge outlook. But yeah, we don't know how much knowledge that guy possesses. But we do know he's got a passion. He's got a goal, and it's obvious to do with his dad. Because at the end of the episode, we saw him come out of Link VRAINS. We may not have seen his face, we may not have seen his body, which would probably be a big giveaway on who he is, but we definitely know he's doing everything with his father, and by the looks of it, his father's probably trapped within Link VRAINS, because he's got a helmet on while lying in the bed, and I think hospital equipment all around him, so maybe he's trapped in between Link VRAINS, and he can't get out, and that's hence why he's against Soltec, because he's trying to save him. That kind of now makes me think that this guy's the real hero. He sounds more like Kamen Rider Decade, really. He sounds like that kind of character, which I kind of can get into and really back up, really. I don't know, I feel like we're missing something, and maybe the next few episodes will give us that little bit of detail. Because honestly, judging from the entire episode, we're going to get more episodes linked directly to it. We're going to get more to be continued and previously. And it looks like Playmakers' popularity has gone through the roof. Ever since Playmakers saved the day, it looks like, oh god, everyone's either changed their avatar to look like Playmaker, or everyone's gone hunting for Playmaker for an interview, or trying to do speed dueling, but by the looks of it, Soltec is made forbidden. Which I can kind of understand. I don't think they would be happy if their players took part in an activity which would risk damaging them mentally. That is actually pretty serious, and honestly I can give a Soltec a high five for thinking something like that, thinking something legal. And I'm glad they put up those kinds of barriers, because after all, they're a company, whether they're bad or good, they need to think of things like that. And then we get into Soltec and their evil plans, really. Honestly, the more I think about Soltec, the more I'm confused, really, and think about their, like, the real hidden bad guys, really, and they're not really showing it to us. Soltec is taking all the measures to try and prepare themselves for the Knights of Howl and Playmaker. With Playmaker, they brought out this new female protagonist, well, probably not the protagonist, but a female character, and basically asked them to investigate Playmaker. And even she's smart enough to think, why aren't you asking me to knock him down? Why aren't you asking me to beat him? And of course they just give it a little, there are hundreds of players out there who want to crack at Playmaker, so we'll let one of those have a go. So they're really thinking about Playmaker, so why are they getting someone to look into Playmaker? Probably so they can able to hunt down this guy and probably recruit him into Soltech, try and turn him to their side. We don't know for sure what's going to happen, but I feel like that's going to be it. Yusaku is a good hacker and also maybe he can find a way around, or will detect that they've found a trail of breadcrumbs leading towards him. That's probably why they've stuck themselves into a hot dog machine, so that way they can go on the move, which kind of makes more sense really. With all this information, I really can't say who's got the upper hand. I feel like at the moment Yusaku's got the upper hand really, but with Soltech, if they play the cards right, they're able to get this information with no problem. And then we go up to the first choice to try and knock out Playmaker, which is Goanzoku, which luckily for them, they've got the information to find the guy, and then we learn more about this character. Like his real name is at the moment, we know is Onzoku, which is kind of stupid, if you ask me. He's done an Asuna from Sword Art Online. He's hidden his real name in the character, or for Asuna's case, hid her first name right in the title. Which is kind of stupid really. Even newbies know not to use their real name as like their avatar name or their channel name or whatever. It's a personal life they want to keep hidden really, because they don't want people to go bombarding them. But I guess for this guy's case, he wants to be known as like the king of VRAINS, so I guess he wants everyone to know who he is. He wants to be that kind of famous. Which I can kind of get behind. I wanted to be famous when I was little, but still there should be a limit here to what you should do. I mean, I give him a round of applause for being honourable and not take Soltech's offer on hunting down Playmaker, even though they're offering so much equipment. He wants to do it his way, really. He wants to like proper earn it. He wants to proper earn the respect and proper earn the victory of a Playmaker. He doesn't want all this stuff to be handed to him. He wants to earn it, really. Even when they offer him a D-board to speed duel, he wants to proper make it. Who knows? Maybe in the next episode he finds Playmaker runs off, he gets that annoyed and decides he'll take up Soltech, but probably alter the deal so that way he can actually earn it. Like he wants a proper one-on-one situation. He doesn't want anyone interfering, not even Soltech. Which I'll probably say that will happen, considering this guy really, by the looks of it, thinks with his muscles rather than his head. We then learn a little bit more about Ignace, and that Yusaku gave him a proper name. We now should really call this character not Ignace, which I kind of find a bit hilarious. It's glad to see that Yusaku has like a hidden laughing side, really, or just because he's a floating eyeball. And more about his like past. We learn because of the incidents that took place within the first episode, a lot of his memories were corrupted and probably deleted, all probably around the same time when his body was destroyed when Kraken Dragon ate him. Just from this, we can tell that this is a serious matter, really. I mean, just from looking at that memory source, the entire computer systems crashed and Revolver had the opportunity to go searching for Ignace, even though he was looking in Link VRAINS, not the digital world, that's Digimon. Even though he was looking within Link VRAINS, it was clear that the signal was so bright that maybe just by going near the area he knew exactly where it was in the real world. Maybe Link VRAINS is set up like a digital map of the real world overlaying with the real world, so that way you can be able to see pinpoint where things are. Kind of makes sense, really. That would explain why when Kraken Dragon was going through some of the TV streams during the first episode, their break, and that yeah, when Playmaker went in, he didn't like need to put in some coordinates, because maybe where he logs in is exactly where he comes out, which kind of is like genius, really. I really hope that it is kind of like that situation. That would be so awesome, really. But then we get to look into more of Yusaku's powers, which I really do think that maybe he could be a program, because he had the ability to look into Link Reigns and actually see Revolver flying, but fly over him. So maybe he didn't like partially go into it. Maybe he only managed to see into it, because Revolver did not pay any attention to him. Maybe Revolver couldn't see him. This is why I really think Yusaku has the ability to see in it, but he doesn't know he's seeing into it unless he thinks that what he's seeing and the real world is one and the same. Maybe that's the case. Maybe Yusaku is a program that went into the real world, or a program that fused with a real person, hence why that guy's got amnesia. I don't know, this is a lot to take in, and I really think there's a lot we're missing, and hopefully within the next few episodes we gain all that information and we can actually see and actually know who the characters are and who it is we can like really trust. We've also got some more information about the Link cards. Even though the Link monsters were created within the digital world, not the digital world, we've been through this before. Link VRAINS is not Digimon. Even though it's created within Link VRAINS, it looks like it can come into the real world. As we've seen within the episode, the Link cards basically get formed, and within the preview, we know it actually like makes a physical card. So this actually kind of like could be really cool. So that you can like create boundless cards within that tornado, which storm. Within that storm, I really should try and call it Storm for now until like get the proper name in, because after all, the ability Playmaker uses Storm Access, which is kind of cool, really. So like you can like create yourself your own cards, which kind of made me think, really. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have taken advantage of that if they stick to a card dual disc. If there was a way for them to create cards within the Link frames and then come into the real world and found a way to make those cards a reality, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be making a lot of money off it, if you ask me. But maybe it's only the Link monsters that can do that, hence the hexagonal blue background on the card, really. Maybe that's proof that it's a digital card coming to reality, which is kind of cool. And I think, and I really want to say this, when the card comes to reality, maybe it like can be deleted. Maybe like within Link Frames, when it's been created, it has the potential of being deleted. Who knows? Maybe Soltech or Knights of Hall will know about this, and if our player maker here gets a new Link card, they can probably find a way to delete it as soon as he gets it, which is going to be interesting, really. But I do like the concept of the card being made into real life. That is really awesome, and I definitely know a lot of people wish that was true. And that's it for this episode, guys. Honestly, I would say, again, this episode has to be another 4 out of 5 cards. But again, because it's all linked in, guys, and I said this last episode, I'm giving these a 5 out of 5 cards. Honestly, guys, the whole link up thing is kind of cool, but there should be a real true limit. Maybe like 5 episodes, maybe 6 episodes linked together. I say that's at least a decent size for a continuing episode lineup, really. They don't want to go too far, make every episode link with each other. Only certain like programs that's okay to do, really. Like, but with like anime and that, unless it's done correctly, it would be. But I really say at the moment, you give range should not really do that unless it's like for important reasons. At the moment, with the episodes that are going, I say up to like 6 episodes. I mean, we've got the first 3 underway, which is like, again, all revolving around Playmaker, and we've got a little bit of information about the other characters. We got a little bit of information about Go Onuzuku, which we know is going to be like a main character sort of situation, or like a rival sort of situation. We now need to include Blue Angel into that mix. Maybe around the next duel we'll see Blue Angel interfere, saying, "What on earth are you doing?" But at the moment, I can't even read Blue Angel's character. She saves Playmaker, but tells him after he beats Knights of Howl, "I'm taking you in." I can't read the character. Maybe she's like one of those people where she gets serious in one moment, but when things start to settle down, she needs to go serious once again. I don't know, because now and again with like female protagonists, their personalities are usually opposite to the main character, the main male character. So who knows if maybe that's it? Because at the moment, Playmaker is serious all the time, and he needs that. He needs to know when to switch off. Which I know he's doing it for a reason. He's got a mission. He's on mission. He can't stop the mission until it's absolutely complete. But he still needs time to relax. He can't just like stay up all night, even though he's got his room. But I doubt he even spends time sleeping. He may go to school, but again, probably to him that's a cover. Really, he honestly probably doesn't care about his school life. He's probably doing a Jane and Yugi and probably tries to fall asleep. But yeah. But honestly, hopefully though, within the next episode, probably tie up this continuing saga or continue on to want us more. Because honestly, with the end of that Night of Howl returning, that really did send me shivers and did make me feel like here we go again. But once in the previews that we learned that Gonozuku is fighting, it did get me interested. Like, is he gonna challenge the Night of Howl first, or is he gonna jump in to Playmaker's way to duel him, or has Playmaker beat him, but then Gonozuku goes, battles Playmaker, and does it give him the opportunity to leave? There's so many questions that needs to be answered from just the preview and from the next episode. Hopefully this next episode will answer a whole lot of questions, but until then, all we can do is sit and wait. So yeah guys, that is it from this episode analyzation. I'm gonna go catch my breath because a whole lot of this was done in one breath and I've forgotten to breathe. I need to go get out of the heat. There's only so much work the sleeveless shirt can do. So again ladies, dig it all in. So yeah, until next time guys, this is me signing out.